Today we'll be creating a planar mid-surface on a stepped cover with the new Midsurface command that was introduced in version 2206. We'll begin creating our simulation files. Then we'll get an associative copy of our geometry in the idealized part. Next we're going to split our stepped cover with the face edges of the face of the top of the cover. Next we're going to locate a datum plane at the location of our mid-surface. Now here I've selected a location that goes through most of the solid. It can't go through all of it because of the stepped nature of the cover, but we'll put it at a location where it goes through most of it. And this is important for inheriting the shell offsets. We need that mid-surface to be inside the solid to inherit the shell offset. So here we'll begin creating our mid-surface, and all of the automatic face pairs are not useful. So we'll go ahead and delete them, and then we'll define our face pair for our planar mid-surface, and then we'll use that datum as our replacement mid-sheet. Then we'll go ahead and select our other body that we just split out, and we'll define a manual face pair for it as well. And we're keeping the sense the same in terms of the top and bottom in terms of selecting our side 1 and side 2 faces. Then we'll select that same datum plane for our replacement face, and we get our planar mid-surface. Now we're ready to go to the FEM, where we'll create our mesh. But before we create our mesh, let's go ahead and stitch the bodies together so that we get a congruent mesh across our 2 polygon sheet bodies. Now we're ready to mesh. I'm going to select polygon bodies, and there's 2 of them. And I want to create a separate mesh for each body. And we can fill out the rest of our mesh recipe. And we'll get 2 meshes, 1 for each body. Now, the reason why we want 2 meshes is because one of them will be offset correctly using the mesh associated data to inherit the offset and thickness from the mid-surface, and one will not. The one that does not is the one that does not have a mid-surface through the solid. And here we'll see that if we display the element thickness and offset. We'll see that the thickness and offset are correct for our outer mesh, but our inner mesh, only the thickness is correct. The offset is not. So we'll have to fix that manually by editing the mesh associated data for that mesh. And we're not going to automatically calculate the offset from the mid-surface data because it can't, because it's not inside the solid, and we'll manually assign a shell offset that puts that mesh in the correct location. So that's how to create a planar mid-surface on a stepped cover using the new Midsurface command in versions 2206 and later.